Hi, we're going to create a Python package using setup tools. You may have seen import at the top of Python code. This imports modules containing functions that are able to do things for you without you needing to write the code every time or without you even needing to know the code. They can be imported into a Python file anywhere on the same computer. It doesn't matter if you're working in a different directory. This is a really useful feature of Python, and today we're going to create our own function inside a module and install it to Python's site packages so you can import it from anywhere. It's a very simple process to do this, but everything has to be exactly right for it to work, so watch carefully and pause the video to try this yourself. Our function is going to be called product, and it will return the product of two numbers that we give to it. Let's create a safe place to save it. Into File Explorer, type C : to access the hard drive and create a new folder. We're going to call this Operations. Inside Operations we want four things. First of all, a subfolder which is also called Operations, and a text file which is called README, and that's left blank. Another one which is called license, and that's also left blank. And finally a text file called setup, and we go into setup, and I'm going to paste in this information from earlier, and actually this needs some changes because I've changed my idea a little bit. So have a good look at this, change that to operations. I want to change the package to operations also. Let's just go top to bottom. So from setup tools, import setup, that's good. The name is operations. The version is 0.1 because it's our first one. Operations package, I'm the author, and the package will be operations. That looks good to me. So we can save that with Control and S, and we can close that out. Let's create one more file as well in the operations subfolder. We'll right click and we'll create a text document, and we're going to call this weirdly _init _.py. No, actually we'll leave off the .py. So _init and hit enter, and there'll be some work to be done on that in a moment. Right, we'll minimize that because we're done here for now, and go into your text editor. I use Atom. Atom has dropped me into the right place because I've been practicing with this morning. If it didn't, I would go to File and Open Folder. I'd go onto the C drive, and I would find our folder, which is operations there, and I would be clicking select folder, and if you do, this is exactly where you end up. Now we've got to make some changes here. Setup.txt, we need to right click on that and change that into a Python file. So get rid of txt and type py and hit enter. And you can see that the code has become colourful and it's reading it correctly, so that's good. And we'll save it with Control and S. I don't think that actually needs saving, but it's never a bad habit. Now, dunder init.txt we also need to change into a Python file. So .py and enter. And this is where our function goes. Whenever Python is trying to read the function inside a module, it has to have this dunder init file. It has to be in every single one of them. This is going to be ours. Our function is going to be a simple one that calculates the product, so when we multiply two numbers together. So product of numbers a and b, which we will give to it, colon, and it will simply return a multiplied by b. So we'll save that with Control and S as well. And this is beginning to look in good shape now. We've got our dunder init file, and that's correct. The setup is good. We've got the license and readmes, which are blank. And everything's in the right place. If we go to our File Explorer, and let's go right back to the C drive, which is a start, and this is what yours should look like. Take care to make sure everything's in the right place. So operations folder, inside there we have a subfolder, we have the empty license and readme text documents, and we have the setup.py file where you carefully copied the information. Inside the subfolder we have our very important dunder init file, which contains the function. If anything's not in the right place, move it around now so it looks just like this. Right, we'll minimize that for now. Minimize this as well. Now it's time to go to the command prompt. Go to your search bar and type COM, and there it is. And we can run that as administrator. First things first, we want to get into the folder that we created in the first place. So we're going to change directory, which is CD, C for the hard drive, colon, slash, and we're looking for an operations folder, and hit enter, and it's found it, so that's good. Inside here we want to type Python setup.py sdist bdist underscore wheel, exactly like that. So Python space setup.py space sdist space bdist underscore wheel, and then we'll hit enter. It's done a lot of stuff. If yours came up with an error message, and it's very likely to if this is the first time that you've done this, don't worry, it's easy to solve. Instead, you would type, first of all, pip install wheel, and you would hit enter. I won't because I already have it. After you hit enter, it will install the wheel, and afterwards press up on your keyboard, and here's the thing that we were typing, and you can then hit enter, and now it will work for you. After this, we need to get into a new folder called dist, which is in the operations area. So CD to change directory again, and dist, and as you can see, it's entered. Now let's go back to File Explorer, into the operations folder. So I'll show you exactly where this is. So we're back onto the hard drive at the start, operations folder, and you can see the computer has built a lot of stuff. Inside dist we have two files, and we're interested in this second one, which has the pictorial logo there. That's a wheel file. So we're going to click on that. That's a right click, and we're going to access the properties. And we want to highlight the whole name and copy it, and we're doing that so that it's exact. Cancel that. Get rid of that. And back into our command prompt, we now want to type pip install and paste that in. And on the end, put .whl, because this is a wheel file, and hit enter. And it looks like I've got to upgrade pip. But we can do that later, because for now it says that we've installed operations and it should be working. So let's get on and test it. Go to your search bar and type in POW for PowerShell. I use this quite frequently. We'll drag it over to the side there. And if we go into Python and we type import operations, and it's imported it. It doesn't give you any "this has been successful" message, but really that's present in the sense that when there's a problem it tells you, and it hasn't told us, so that's all good. And to check this that this works, our function is called product and the module is operations. At the moment we'll need both, so we type operations dot product, open bracket, and let's multiply 5 by 7. So we're hoping for 35. Now before I press enter, we have the module, which is operations, a dot, there is no space here, product, which is the function, open brackets, 5 and 7 are the numbers that we give to the function to multiply, and close a bracket. There's no space anywhere in that. Hit enter and you can see that it's working. If we try it with something more challenging like operations.products 1 2 3 4 5 times 7 8 9 0 and hit enter, if you check that on a calculator, and I have, then you'll see that that's working as well. In a separate video I'm going to show you how to add to the operations module. At the minute we've only got one for product, but we might want a function to add numbers, divide numbers, subtract numbers. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Upgrading is incredibly simple, but it's probably separate enough to warrant an extra video. For now, we've accomplished everything that we set out to. Thank you for watching.